Trevi Moran, my best friend in the world, my sister of a very long time. And get this, we are so brand safe.
Exactly.
Gag it.
Gag it. And gag all the hashtag ads.
I'm so excited to do this with you properly. I don't know if the viewers know this, but you were actually like not even a solo before this, nothing.
No.
The first ever shot episode of Brand Safe.
Yeah, and I don't want to call it rinky dinky because that would be really like a dig at your own team. But I was feeling very rinky dinky. This was at the beginning of my like undiagnosed itch gate. So like half of my spray tan was coming off, which was making me feel a little dink. That's not like an offensive term, is it?
Rinky dinky?
Girl, it's scary out here.
It is. That's actually a big topic of today's podcast. Is it being scary out here?
I rhymed something with severe on my podcast, and then I said Paul Revere after, and I went straight to Google. I said, now what did he do?
Because you know he did something. The only Paul Revere I know is a Noah Kahn song, okay? Get into it.
So I'm really, it's a lot. And being here and in these chairs, I have to like keep my composure and keep my elegance. But like, I don't know.
This is beautiful. We're in my room right now. And I just sounded like JoJo Siwa. We're in my room right now. And my room never looks like this, ever. Like cheese on the walls. It only looks like this if we are shooting content in it.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that we're doing a proper episode because that episode that we shot was beta. And it's so funny because you kept telling me that. You were like, Tana, you're not going to want to upload this. Like, this looks like shit. Like, we were in Hawaii in my kitchen and we were just still figuring things out. And me included, not even just like the technological side, but I was kind of figuring out what I wanted my podcast to look like and be and all these things.
100%. Because now when I look at it now that there's a good amount of episodes live, like you understand your branding, you understand like the layout and the format and everything. Like I think when we started, we knew we really wanted to do it, and it was like over December because I spent Christmas with you in Hawaii with my family, which was so fun. But it was just like, yeah, I think beta is the perfect word. You know, maybe the footage will be usable for something else, but maybe not. But
there's a couple things in there that I loved. It's just one of those things where you and I do have that type of friendship where like all of a sudden we're on an hour-long tangent about influencer dentistry, which I'm dragging, by the way.
Exactly.
Okay, I never want to be a part of she's dragging it. Like the internet does love to say she's dragging it to a woman who just wants to continue to share her story, often in like serious regards as well. But I can factually say when it comes to my teeth and the wisdom tooth and everything, like she's dragging it.
Well, and I'm over there sitting there like, it's true. Like I'd have nothing to say, like
to wonky veneers. Yeah, like you have
a rinky dinky veneer.
Yes, and that's exactly. I have toilet teeth, and I was just on that whole tangent. And like,
is that because they're porcelain?
Yes, but my toilet seat is better, you know, than what's in my mouth. Buster has more teeth than me. We talked about Shane Dawson for a minute. We did. We went on like a 20-minute conversation about the canceled couch, and I was trying to sell it on Marketplace using photos of Jelly Roll sitting on it, and it's like, imagine me uploading that now in today's climate. It's like, it doesn't matter. The Jelly Roll was on your couch.
When we recorded that, it's so weird. I think as I get older, 6 months increments of time, you change so much. You change so much. And I think that because we were so used to not changing in our early 20s, from like 21 to 25, I would say.
Like that. I felt that in my lungs.
Yeah, but then it's like the prefrontal cortex starts working and then real life things start to happen and you realize how much once you kind of have access and understand who you are and your identity and where you want to go in life, like it's much easier to change, but it also
in a short period of time.
But it also means it's much harder because you're changing a lot more than usual. So it's a double-edged sword.
You're so right in the regard that like on my 28th birthday, I was kind of looking at like how much I had changed from 27 to 28. And I almost feel like the second your frontal lobe develops, especially in going sober, you and I both kind of had that happening, where each year is so polar from the last. Like who I even was at 27 and everything I believed, I feel like a completely different person to that girl. It almost creates this new set of anxiety where you're constantly like living in skin that you've just now like developed, if that makes sense.
100%. I mean, I can relate to that on multiple different levels, transitioning and getting sober at the same time. Like in reality, I'm literally 6 years old. Like
Crazy.
I've just now got control of my brain and like look the way that I want to look, and all the things that you're saying, like they happen, but I do feel like what do they call it? Like a deer when it's first born, like wobbling and shit.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
Each year of my late 20s feels like that. Like I'm waking up in this new year and then I'm like figuring it all out from the ground up each year. And it can be really scary. I mean, you and I both, I feel like, relate to this sentiment, but like we lived maybe with no anxiety or like forethought about anything that we were going to do, or like after regret thought about anything that we did, or like now at this point in my life, it's like thinking everything through, and then sometimes way too much, and then sometimes overthinking it, and like even just perception and like how you're going to be perceived and like all of those things. It's just so interesting, the back half of your 20s, especially coupled with sobriety.
I think what also plays a part in that is the internet loved to see us be outrageous. I mean, like
at that time, you're right. That was the marker for views and attention, and
well, and it was right in the Cabo or the
That-
Mexico Get Ready With Me videos coming out. People are like obsessed with us like being drunk and like a mess, and it's like, you know, not only is that like making us want to make great content, but it's also like not blaming that on you guys or anything, but it's like we get this stamp of approval.
Yeah, when you're rewarded for that, you snowball it. That was all of my early 20s.
But then the camera turns off and I'm like ruining my relationship with my mother. Like, do you know what I'm saying? It was reparable, thank God. But like, no one's showing the dry heaving. No one's showing me $50,000 in debt. No one's showing me shaking in the morning and like finding a glass of wine anywhere. And I can only speak for myself on this because I think everybody has different versions of alcoholism and addiction. But
No, I'm retweeting you.
there was an underlying problem with me to begin with. I don't want to be like, oh, like the validation online like made me keep drinking. Like, no, I was fully aware of what
It's just an easy cycle to get in where if something is working and, you know, coinciding with your job and all of those things, I definitely relate to that cycle. But it is just crazy how much it even changes you. I was talking about this with Makoa Ho in the living room today, where even like towards the end of my alcoholism, I was so down to just go anywhere. Like we'd go to a nice party where everyone looks nice in like sweats with no makeup just because I wanted to drink. Like, and I wouldn't put on makeup. It's like you needed contour. You were ballooning your own face from addiction. If you're going to be that much of an addict, like maybe pick up the Makeup by Mario stick.
We got to those phases at very different parts of our lives. When I got to that phase, you were still looking cute going out. I think I was about 3 or 4 years behind you. But when we got to the end, like, cause I mean, I was pre-transition, but I was still like hiring a makeup artist here and there, like putting on a lash or like putting on like a pump with anything. But it got to the point, do you remember the phase of my life where I literally didn't do anything but like just throw glitter on my face? Do you remember? Like there was this VidCon, like I will always I do not remember it.
So Euphoria though, you were ahead of your time.
Well, that's why I think I thought it was because I was like, well, this is like I'm giving like I'm giving like trash, like I'm gonna give like glitter tears, and it's like, oh, has nothing.
Sam Levinson wasn't in the room, you know.
No, he wasn't. He really wasn't. And it was just, I honestly don't remember that VidCon. I don't really remember that year, but I thought that it was like so cute and so, I was like getting this like from like Urban Outfitters. It was like a
Urban Decay.
What? No, but I think there was an Urban Decay.
Urban Decay, not Spiritual Cowboy. That was a guy that we used to know and party with. Something Cowboy. It was that glitter that we would just put it up our ass. Boof Urban Decay glitter.
Yes.
And that's not brand safe. And Urban Decay, I would love to work with you. I love a lot of your products.
We love you.
Yeah, we do.
I was urban decaying. Like there was something to be said about decay.
Even today though, it was just so nice because I still do lean a little more loungewear-y and like just wanting to shoot in anything. And you know, like I'm still no stranger to a little mustard on a tee and ripping a podcast. And I think that you motivate me to want to like get my look together and like, you know, just it is such a beautiful thing about sobriety now. I just posted this like 4th of July post where I was talking about this year. The 4th of July was always one of my drunkest holidays. And there was this year where I had rented this like really sick vintage leather stars and stripes jacket, and I was so excited to wear it on the 4th of July and take pictures in it. And by 2 p.m., I was literally speaking Rubik's Cube. It wasn't Red, White, and Blue, babe. It was Roy G. Biv Rubik's Cube. Speaking Rubik's Cube. And like, I ended up just going out until like 4 a.m. The only memory I have is Lauv, and it's giving I like me better when I'm with rehab.
Right.
I woke up the next day, my camera roll was empty and the jacket was on the floor, and I took no photos in it, and it was like very sad. Like, it was just this like sad, empty moment. And I was thinking about that. Like, it is nice to like sit here across from you and like be girls and have our little blowout and like be taken seriously and like do a cute podcast. And I want to talk more about sobriety with you, but the reason why I was really excited to do this podcast with you, and I'm actually breaking my little formula that only I know about. Like, normally I do a solo and then a guest and a solo and a guest, and no one else cares about that at all. Just me. But
it's a sign of healthy sobriety, though, that you care about organization.
I do. Yeah. I do. And this is this project it's so close to my heart. Yeah. And everything I've ever done was very close to my heart. I think this is just the most cognizant I've ever been in my life. And the way I care about Brand Safe, I want to be the best version of myself on this podcast always. And for the past like week or two since I uploaded my Wisdom Tooth podcast, I had been in a little bit of like a spiral/funk, I guess. Okay. And obviously I understand the internet game. People are going to talk and people are going to say things, and sometimes you're not going to like the things that people say. I think I'm very familiar with that and very okay with that.
Yeah.
It's
kind of like an inevitable.
But I had done that podcast and I tried to do my best explaining my wisdom tooth recovery and where my headspace was at. And I can kind of look back now, and I think I left out a lot of context in a lot of the things I was saying. And this was my buzzword for a long time across canceled. And I hate to use this buzzword in this, but I do think I flippantly said a few things that caused for people to go down these rabbit holes of speculations and leaving a lot of comments, some just looking out, and then a lot of them were in regards to my sobriety. And I had been talking about Norcos and painkillers a lot in that episode because that was a lot of what my wisdom tooth recovery was. And I thought in the moment that I did a decent job of saying in the podcast, like, this is what I was so afraid of. Yeah. And like, I don't like to be out of my own at all anymore.
No,
and
it's
like
weird, right?
And I was even saying in the podcast, I was like, I wish so badly I could go back and tell Xana that there would be a time in her life where she was prescribed pills and she wouldn't want to take them. Yeah. Like, you would have to shake her out of the lime green bedazzled Billie Eilish jumpsuit to tell her that like she wouldn't want to pop this Norco.
Right.
And I think I also was being a little too jokey about things. Like, I was prescribed so much stuff. Like, I'd never seen so many pill bottles across a nightstand, like for all the things that were going on across my wisdom tooth. I don't know. A lot of comments were just getting to me. Like, I think a lot of people were commenting, being like, my recovery was like a few days. And while it's like, I'm so happy for you, like, I wasn't being exaggerative at all in the regard that it was the most pain I'd ever experienced. Like, I hated it. And I was trying to express that.
And it's hard when your audience has seen every phase of you. I don't know, like, just because they did know Xana as well, it's like obviously a valid thing for them to be like, oh, concerned. But at the end of the day, someone's recovery is not another person's job. A. B, everybody heals differently and everybody requires different things. Like, for instance, for me, I had a wisdom tooth removed about a year and a half ago. I ended up getting a fierce dry socket and it took me over a month to heal. Me sitting here, who hates pills more than anything, is terrified of pills more than anything. I could not talk. I could not eat. I could not speak to anybody. And I understand that and I empathize with that. And at the end of the day, it's like, when you're in that much pain, you're willing to do whatever the fuck it takes to just feel normal.
But even though I was in that much pain, I still was very mentally cognizant, especially with my OCD, of the fear of knowing that I never want to be addicted to anything again in my life. Like, I think that once you know peace so tangibly, and you feel it every single day, and you really know what it's like to be out of that, and you can really look at the volcano that you once lived in, and you can come out of the lava, and you can go swim in the ocean, and you can, I'm using like crazy analogies here, but
it's true.
I will do anything to foster and harbor and ensure I have that. And that's in everything. That's in my relationships. That's in friendships. That's in business. That's in addiction, mainly addiction. Yes. I am sitting here today and I can confidently, factually say I am the soberest I have ever been. Even weed. I loosely quit weed at Coachella. Like I just was like, this isn't even serving me anymore. And I want to get more sober. I don't even want to like be smoking now and again. Even before that, I wasn't really smoking super heavily, but I go through phases with gardening where it can get insecure and it can get kind of weird. And it's kind of like, why are you doing this? I'm just like eating a bag of Cheetos, like hating myself.
Like it's not like productive is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not creative and light and silly. So why would I continue to ingest that? Also, I am prescribed various medications for anxiety, right? And I also understand when I start to talk about a benzodiazepine or I start to talk about Xanax, that people can go to Xana and go to MTV era Tana and all of those things and say, there are the people saying, be careful, girl, that's a slippery slope. And then there are also the people who are like, I know she's on it again and popping pills and abusing them and all those things. And those comments were really getting to me over the past few weeks because I sat down and did my due diligence with the psychiatrists, with the therapists, with the licensed professionals to ensure in my life that I wasn't doing anything to ever regress back to a state of addiction, back to a state of being out of my own. And this is what works for me. This is not me telling anyone that like this is what would work for them, but I am the soberest I've ever been in my own life ever. And I plan on continuing to remain that way until I die. And I think that seeing comments and even like Paige was getting DMs and like people were, you were getting DMs.
I was getting
comments. Of like, watch out for her. And I'm like, and obviously you and I can kind of just laugh at it because we know that I'm sober and we know that I'm good. But for some reason, I guess it was just getting to me. And then I called you as I always do. And you said something to me that kind of brought me back to reality, brought me back down to earth. I might fuck up your quote, but you said, I wrote it down actually.
Did you?
Yes. I always write down the profound things you say. You know, I always talk about counting up and all of those things. But
when you start counting up in the sobriety, that's how you know you're in the clear.
You said the only way you can get people to believe in your sobriety is by continuing to be sober.
And as simple as it sounds, it's the tea.
I know it brought me back. I was drowning a little in the comments and in the wanting to almost sit and respond to everything. And I think the internet is very interesting in a way that when one floodgate opens, like even like I had posted a photo dump with Buster in it, and all the comments were saying like that this thing right here on him was a shock collar, and I'm getting like fucking the most insane. How could you fucking do that to your dog? You're just a horrible person. You're pretending to be brand savior, pretending to be all these things. It's a tracker by the company Fee. I use the app on my phone, Fee, to literally see how many times he licks in a day. I'm so obsessed with my son that I want to know every time he scratches and licks and walks. Yeah. And he's just little, and our yard is very big, and I just always want to know like exactly. It's extreme tracking because if anything ever happened to my sweet boy, I would lose my mind. I would never put that on him.
I love Bus.
And I know he's perfect. I don't know. And then I'm wanting to fight with those comments, and then I'm wanting to be like, no, I'm literally perfectly sober. My wisdom tooth was just like a fierce couple weeks. And like I also thought that I explained that well enough in that episode. So then I was like, but I didn't. And I can look back now and I know that. And a lot of the things I had said in that needed a lot more context, and I can like completely recognize that. But I guess I am coming on record to say that I'm still as sober as ever, and I feel great, and life is great. And like, you got to come online and say it now and again.
No, I know. And if I may, like, you shouldn't have to sit here and make people believe that you're in a better place. That's something for the relationship between you, yourself, and you. Or what is it? What's the opposite of me, myself, and I?
And God?
I don't know. You and yourself. That's a conversation for you and yourself. Like, you know in your heart of hearts that you're in a better, much, much, much better, if not the best place you've ever been in.
And I also don't want that to ever reach ceiling territory. Even right now, I'm on a journey to find the best SSRI for my OCD, and I'm actively doing that off camera. Like, I'm not sitting here saying like, I'm in the absolute ceiling of my growth. But I also do know factually that I am in the best, soberest, healthiest place that I have been in my entire life.
I don't think there is a ceiling. I think there's just like going up. And I think right now is a very good time for you to be aware of all of those things. Again, like what you said earlier, it's like to know peace. There would be so much that would make me want to go back, right? Like I always think about some things in life that are like inevitable to most humans. I am really genuinely scared for my sobriety, but like
death.
Yeah, life changes in an instant, right? Like if it, like we said in the beginning of the episode, like I think everything is so much different now than it was 6 months ago. It's just like I just currently went through a really spooky, or I'm currently going through a very, very spooky moment that genuinely had me not being like, oh, I'm gonna go pick up the bottle because I'm ruined or so sad, because I know what peace is like. It's like just because one thing happened doesn't mean that I want to blow it all up and what did you say, go back to the lava or some shit. But bitch, it's like I know you know what peace is and you don't need to convince anyone of anything, and I know that it hurts for people to talk about you and you don't even need to convince me, and like I know as like your faux sponsor, like
my sponsor.
Yeah, I'm your sponsor. Like take example like me coming back into the friend group once I got sober, like nobody believed me, and that's okay. My mother didn't believe in me. My father didn't believe in me. I
believed in you. And I also did believe you when you finally did the work and came back, and that's same for me. I think you finally believed me when you saw me hit my rock bottom 100%. And come back. You know, that's...
But there's two questions. It's like, yes, I believe in you, but also the second question is like, how long can it go? And I think, again, this brings up the thing that you wrote down in your notes. Like, the only thing that I needed to keep doing for you guys to trust me, for my mother to trust me, and for my audience to trust me is like, I just kept on being sober and I just kept on finding my peace, and that's all you can do. And like,
I guess I always want this podcast to be that safe space and like healthy space for the girlies as well. Like, I think that I want the peace that I'm experiencing and the sobriety that I'm experiencing to help the girlies out there know that like you and I are both standing, living, breathing testimonies that no matter what place you're in, it can get better. And I want our community to look like that. And to everyone that's genuinely looking out for me or caring, I'm like, I love that. And I never want that to change. But just to people starting to nitpick or like hate or anything like that, I guess I want to be like the mama bear and like fight against it. But obviously I've seen in so many areas of my life that the second that you start fighting against comments and things like that, it just continues to foster that environment. So it's like this weird standstill of like, no, we are in ooh girly meditative peace zone over here, but at the same time, like it all goes back to what you said, like just as so long as you continue to be peaceful and a good person and know that you're the best version of yourself, like the universe has the rest under control. I also think we're in a fierce retrograde.
It is something about this retrograde has absolutely tested me. But to finish this part off, I will just say this one thing. Everybody has this idea of what sober is supposed to mean based off of movies or you know, maybe somebody heavily involved in AA that like she should be going to meetings every day or I should be going to meetings every day and being a part of, like, I think that a 12-step program or doing things like that is really, really helpful, or abstinence on all things. But every single human is different at the end of the day. And if they remove the thing that almost killed them and disrupted their peace, they're winning.
That's also like something that I kind of...
and can stick to it. Like, don't fall down another vice, and you're not. But I'm just saying, like, everybody has a different definition. You don't need to comply with what everybody tells you that needs to be, because I struggle with that. Like, I will even admit here, I have an emergency anxiety medication.
Yes.
And, you know, a lot of people in AA shamed me for that. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but, like, as someone with extreme anxiety, like a fucking hydroxyzine's just not gonna do it.
100%. I wouldn't have the lowest dose prescription of Xanax, by the way, if I knew that I could not take it healthily and when I needed to, not recreationally, and not to get fucked up, because I don't want to lose the cognizance and the awareness in my life. I don't want to, like, it's the same reason that I went sober. I didn't want to ruin my life. And I do think sober is such an overarching sentiment. You hit the nail on the head there, where it's like, I stopped drinking, I stopped snorting the floor, and I stopped doing and taking crazy shit. Like, you're not going to catch me at EDC, Pop Tamale, I'm sweating. You're not going to catch me, even mushrooms. Like, I don't want to be out of my own. And I'm never taking anything to be out of my own ever again. And weed is maybe the only exception, but still I'm even in a place in my life where I only ever want to like have like 1 milligram of an edible or like one little hit of a joint if I'm like sitting by the fire with my friends and making s'mores or makoa and I want to like watch a weird movie and giggle in bed. There were even eras of my life where I was doing that to numb and run. Like I do enjoy being so heavily present in my life. And like I'm alcohol free and I'm like hard anything free and anything that I'm like prescribed or taking, like trust that deep evaluations with a psychiatrist and therapist and all of the things happened to get to that point, to get me to just be and feel my best self. And again, I'm not at the ceiling. I'm literally still on a Zoloft or Prozac journey because I need the menehune in my brain to shut the fuck up. Like, please. Menehune? Menehune is a Hawaiian urban legend.
Oh.
Of the little, almost like fairies or sprites. But that's what I call my OCD thoughts. They're the menehune.
The menehune.
Because they love to talk. I also think that I'm grateful for those comments almost inciting me to have this conversation. Because I think that for the past few months, I got in this place where I didn't want to be annoying. And this is just me overthinking about sobriety. I was like, I don't want to just like drill it down people's throats or make it like my whole thing and all I talk about, when the reality is it should be all I talk about. It is the best thing to ever happen to me. And I love screaming it from the rooftops. And like, even just like I had seen a few comments on TikToks of my sobriety video of people being like, oh my God, is this her whole shtick now? And I think I internalized those. And it's like, the reality is like, how lucky am I for that to be a big part of my whole shtick right now? Your whole shtick used to be sticking your tongue out and taking your out and everything and licking strangers on photographs on your grid. Like, thank God. I don't know. This brought me back to wanting to continue to just talk about it. And I'm so lucky to have you as my best friend to like do that with.
It's never something you should be ashamed or feel like you're going to bore people to talk about.
Like that, I'm okay with. She's dragging it.
Yeah, because you also need to like, at the end of the day, it is a huge deal for people like us, literal addicts, and like the
literal addicts,
because it's not only the way we approach substance, it's the way we approach all aspects of our life.
So true.
And
that's an interesting podcast within itself, because you quit your addiction. And then, and I noticed this, I talked about this in my 1 year sobriety video. I noticed that there were little things that could have easily started slipping into the cracks to fill that void.
Yeah. Like, well, that's why I started doing K, because I literally stopped drinking and I was like prescribed it and I thought that it was like saving me in my depression. And then I like ended up just getting it on the street and like replacing it. And then eventually they just started mixing together again. And I'm like, wait, how did we get here? So it can be a slippery slope.
Recognizing that like, whether you're sober or not, you'll always kind of be an addict. Like whether, even for me, I was like, it can be shopping, it can be gambling, it can be a relationship with someone, it can be so many things can like, you know, and you have to really do the inner work. It's almost something that you have to fight every day. It can end up being a food. I think it was Dr. Pepper for a second there. Yeah. Like I had to chill on those. I'm having one right now, but nonetheless.
But it's also not even about the fact that we get like addicted to things. I think it's also like when things are removed from our lives, we handle it like it's being ripped from our soul. Like a withdrawal. I don't know. Maybe I'm just speaking for myself right now, but like
for me, I think it's and it goes hand in hand with ADHD, and so many addicts obviously have ADHD as well because it's the dopamine. You know what I mean? It's for me, I noticed that I wanted to dope max, like replace the dopamine in any way that I could. And I had to like almost dopamine detox and like understand that like being bored is a privilege and being bored equates to peace as well.
It does.
And we obviously live in this short form generation where you're dope maxing on your phone. And then like you know what I mean? You can just find that in every little thing. If it's food, if it's vaping, if it's shopping, if it's anything, you know?
Girl, it was Ben & Jerry's for me in my beginning of my sobriety.
If you move on from a raging alcohol addiction to Ben & Jerry's, that's okay. But then
that's a win, honey.
But then eventually you have to talk about the Ben & Jerry's too. Like it is just, that thing never fully goes away. It's the demon in the corner that you have to make friends with.
Well, you just have to learn to like tame her, and you have to learn to like work with her, and you can use her for beautiful things such as art and inspiring people. And like what we're sitting here doing right now, like we're literally speaking directly from our demon, being like, we have her tamed.
Even earlier when you were saying like you are going through a spooky time right now, which I'm sure we will get to in a second. I shouldn't even say a spooky thing happened to you is what I should say. You were even saying that like it is interesting when you're going through a dark time, the addict demon loves to put thoughts into your brain. Even when I'm going through dark times, like my brain is going to immediately say to me, how nice would it be to numb this out right now? Whether that's escaping on a trip to go do something, whether that's drinking again, whether that's just anything. How nice would it be?
Hyperfixating on anything.
Recognizing those thoughts and immediately like going against them.
Yeah.
It takes
correcting
strength.
them. It's like autocorrect. Your brain's own little. You have to like reroute your thoughts.
Yeah,
and it becomes a skill. You become Tana GPT, even though we don't use that because that's not good.
I do drink a lot of water.
You do, but you then pee it out. Tit for tat. I don't know what that was supposed to mean.
No, I actually loved it.
I'm like, but she paid for y'all.
Yes.
Sorry, Buster.
So funny in Trevi and I's friendship after getting Buster, like I had to like teach you that he's afraid of everything.
Right. Talk about taming the demon.
Yes.
She's over here like, don't be yourself. I'm like, damn.
I know. He's just afraid of everything. It's crazy. Even I have to tame my screaming and music with bass. He doesn't like that. He does not like music with bass.
What does he think about you like playing the piano?
One time he peed on my leg while I was playing the piano, and I was playing Happier Than Ever really really poorly. So I think he was like, cut the shit, mom.
Right.
You know, maybe a lot of my 2 weeks was also just navigating the internet and like,
maybe you had a little extra time on your hands.
Yeah.
Like you were recovering and then you saw things.
I almost found myself getting in this negative mindset that I had to kind of get out of. But it's okay. I was scrolling on my For You page and I see a video of a girl at the Grove. And she like posts this whole like little montage of like, if you're in LA and like you want to have a good day, go to the Grove. And all of the comments are like, the Grove is awful. It's so boring. Like the Grove is so boring. And like, why would you even go there? And it's like, do you know that you could just scroll? Then I scroll and it's a video of someone putting Nerds gummy clusters into an icy at the movie theater. And everyone's like, you're just going to have to remove the lid to eat them. There's no point in this. And it's like, God forbid someone wanted a little rainbow sparkle in their movie theater experience. Or maybe they like to do that and they like to remove the lid. Alex Earl's videos are popping up and everyone's like, her is lopsided and she sold her soul to the devil. And it's like, she's actually...
Are you Alex Jones? What's happening here?
I don't know. That's my voice for these. Or it's giving the Queen of Mo. My father got a job at the Palms restaurant. But all it's like maybe she's actually just thriving post breakup and Positano. And maybe like let her live. And like Olivia O'Brien's opening for Benson Boone. And everyone's like, why would she do this? And it's like, God, if she wants to moonbeam her bag up to the moon and sing and sound amazing. But then I started hyperfixating on that, and on the internet and how people just like were in that place, the bean soup. I was just gonna say,
isn't that bean soup theory where they're very contrarian to whatever you say?
I don't know what it is. I could go on a whole tangent of what I think the psychology of that is, of people wanting to feel a part of something, or the world is in a very dark place. So it's easy to see all of the dark and horrible, like valid, horrible things happening and succumb to that, I guess, and leave those comments and all those things. But I'm just like, damn, these are like, Olivia had to see those comments and Alex had to see those comments. And like that girl who had a great day at the Grove had to see those comments. And like our lovely icy person with their, I don't know. Like, it's just like, and oh my God, I sound so like, give me a tapestry and a crystal, but like, can't we just all try to lift each other up?
I know.
And I got in that place for like 2 weeks and I'm trying to get out of it now and just remember that for just as much bad, there is so much good. And also none of that exists in real life. Like people aren't talking to people like that in the real world.
Nobody's speaking to you like that in person. Also, like,
obviously, as you guys saw on TikTok last week, I was fully crashing out because I couldn't see Noah Khan at Fenway Park. I kept seeing everyone's videos online. My heart was shattering. Looking at the people in the crowd living my dream. And I immediately opened up SeatGeek to see if there were any tickets left. Okay, next thing I know, I'm looking up flights to Boston. Like, it was so easy. I was genuinely about to fly 6 hours just to see one concert. That's how committed I was. Okay, and I missed that one. But when I get to that next one, honey, let me tell you something. I'm opening up SeatGeek, which is exactly why I want to give the sponsor of today's episode a huge shout out, SeatGeek. With over 35 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, from concerts to festivals to sports and comedy shows. So whenever I inevitably convince myself I need to be somewhere across the country with 24 hours notice, SeatGeek is the first place I check. I also love that every ticket is rated on a scale from 1 to 10, so instantly you know whether you're getting a good deal. Look for the green dots. Green means good deal. Red means maybe keep scrolling, diva. And every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. Thank God. When you see me Noah Conning out, just know it was SeatGeek. Thank you, SeatGeek, for sponsoring today's episode and my life and my dopamine.
Again, like, we're here for such a limited time. If someone wants to put M&Ms on a hot dog. Just leave them the fuck alone. And I don't even know if that happened, right? But it's like...
And just heavy on like it's one thumb motion versus lots of thumb motions. Like it just, your thumb can actually do so much.
But it's less about like not letting people... Because this is such a wider conversation just about humanity and how we treat each other.
I saw Tate McRae bring out a soccer ball at like FIFA for whatever the hell that means.
I just went, by the way. I had no idea what was going on. Was so happy to be there.
You were fiefing down.
I was like front row at the World Cup.
And I don't know much about the cup, and I don't know much about it.
I learned the world.
Yeah.
I don't know much about the world.
The world. You know, I'm trying to like Lamine Yamal it up. Like Makoa loves FIFA. So I'm trying, right? But Tate McRae, she walks out this soccer ball, and all the comments are like, "This ruined FIFA." And I was like, "Where did I go?"
The World Cup is actually
World Cup is ruined because of Tate McRae.
I wonder what the root is, because it's
like, did Tate McRae really ruin FIFA?
No, obviously, and you're not going down a bad path with fucking Norcos and Xanax. Look, like, these are not real. Like, these are not real things. These are like, unfortunately, you have to zoom out and like, yes, like, there are real people typing these things, but at the end of the day, it's like, cool. And it's a lot of unhappy people, right? And I think that when someone is unhappy in their life, period, unfortunately, a huge part of human psychology causes us to harm others, hurt people.
Yeah, it's very fair. And honestly, I always want to differentiate the line between constructive criticism, looking out,
100%.
versus just meanness. When I look back to times of my life, even like I talked about this with Trisha a little, so I'll keep it very light, but during the whole iDubbbz thing, I feel like I received, obviously rightfully so, a lot of hate and a lot of criticism. And I can look back now and say, did that criticism like changed and saved my life? Even in the like Team Bryce era, like a lot of people being like, what the fuck is she doing? Like,
why does she have socks on her arms?
Like in any bad portion of my life, I look back to the constructive criticism and I appreciate it more than anything in the world.
That's the thing. You can tell when someone's looking out for you and cares for you, as can I. I think there becomes a stark difference of someone who is trying to attack you for your character or something that doesn't exist.
Or just hates you.
Yeah, sure.
Like, I've just never understood why people consume and comment on someone or something.
As Mel Robbins said, let them.
And you're so right. And
like, just literally let them. We've been doing this for over a decade, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it's like we're sitting here and like we're talking about these things, about these opinions of people that like we don't even know, and at the end of the day, like, you found your peace.
I know, and it's so true. And it's the other 50 weeks of the year, I do think I'm fine. I have noticed, though, if there is one thing that I am actively, and I'm going to talk about this in an upcoming YouTube video when I do the 28 things I've learned at 28, if there's one thing that I can take from old Tana that I'm almost trying to get back from her, well, I don't know necessarily if I want to say it that way, because it's not, she just didn't give a fuck. And I like giving a fuck. And I also never want to be in an era where I'm like so narcissistic that I can't like read or see a bad thing about me and like learn from it as well. I just guess the brand safe era, the one thing about this era that and even the end of 27 and 28 is I have noticed how critical of myself I can be and anxious I can be and like over reading into things that I know aren't true. And like, just, I need... And maybe that is the Zoloft or the Prozac, right? Like the OCD and anxiety can be a little more fierce in this era where, I just sometimes I'll like jokingly miss not giving a fuck at all. And obviously I don't want to go back to her.
Yeah, there's a happy medium, and it's about filtering. Mm-hmm. You just need to you need to screw your filter on a little bit tighter of like what bullshit you let into your mind.
Of course. And normally I really don't. I don't know what I guess it's like, and again, I don't want to say this like there's a ceiling, but I put in so much work to know that I'm living my active every day, being a great person to everyone around me. Yep. And like,
you don't need to prove that to anybody.
I know. I guess it just affects you more 100%. When you know that, like, God, it sounds narcissistic, but it's like, I know I'm good. You want to like prove that, but you can't, and it's a slippery slope.
I mean, I don't want to say we're going in circles, but at this point, it's like the only thing you can do is know your own peace and keep continuing on the path that you're going on.
And you're right.
And just screw your fucking filter on better. Give a fuck, but not that much.
I love you.
I love you.
I think that, and I was talking about this with Paige in the previous episode, every friend serves a different purpose. But when I look at the most healing conversations and eye-opening conversations of my life and like periods of life, like they're with you. They're always with you. Like you are my just like our 2 a.m. FaceTimes unpacking the tropes and plights of life. And obviously we have so much in common as well. So it helps in that way. But even sitting here like this conversation is like, I won't forget it. That's another thing I'm so grateful about being so present is I get to remember all these beautiful conversations I have with you, and we'll be 2 years older and one day we'll have kids running around and we'll look back at these conversations. I love you.
Sorry, I'm just like going through it right now.
Do you want to talk about it? I don't ever want to.
Oh, but it is true. And I'm just like extra emotional right now. But man.
Yeah, for like a very rightful reason.
Sorry, I didn't mean like make that about me at all. I'm like, she's talking too much about yourself. I'm just kidding.
You're going through a first right now. And a first is always very, very hard. You're navigating this with such an intelligent head on your shoulders. And the first time you really get your heart broken is a roller coaster I wouldn't wish upon anyone. But at the same time, God, does it make you better?
I hope so, because I'm in a lot of pain right now.
You are. I mean, and I know that you're being really smart and really careful. We were talking about this even before the podcast of like how you want to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't think it's my job to bring karma or justice or revenge to somebody by ruining their life.
And doing, as someone who did that for a very long time, when you think you are the karma god and the karma police, it just ends up hurting you more. You know, it just, and it's just, it's not your job. It's the universe's job. Like the best karma you can ever give to anyone is you thriving and you succeeding. And it is brutal though. Like when you give your soul to someone and they stomp on it, you know?
I mean, for context, I was in a relationship for over a year and it's no longer
with us.
I almost said that. It's no longer with us. Hashtag self-respect. But like
and God, you are doing it so beautifully. One thing I love about our friend group, I will say, is that we all have this beautiful like wolf pack mentality. And when one person is going through a breakup or going through anything, we all get together immediately. And that's exactly what you did. You know, you called me and you looked out for yourself and you said some shit's going down. I'm coming over. Your mom came over and we all sat in the living room and I
just screamed into the sky.
Mm-hmm. I'm making her watch Gone Girl. Like that was my first order of operation. Like we're laying in bed, but that's what we do for each other always. You've handled this. We're like what? It's like 2 weeks now.
2 weeks, yeah.
And you're sitting here in a fucking tight and a kitten heel with a cunty watch on and a blowout. Like think about Trevi and Tana in every other era of life. Like the amount of times we handled hardship and strife with a fucking bottle, you know? And
I would never ever, I think it would be so embarrassing to relapse on a man. Dude, like there's no way that somebody can hold that much power over me. But I think when you get to certain levels in relationships where you feel incredibly secure, you know, there's kind of this checkbox in the first year. And like once you pass that level, you're like, oh my God, like this is really starting to feel real.
Yes.
Pretty much that last box was checked.
Yeah.
And like,
I also think that, you know, every breakup is different. But you and I don't want to speak for your situation, but things happened kind of fast. Like things sometimes you find out things or just certain things, and like it can be this whirlwind shock, you know, where you're like, what was everything? And maybe
you're questioning the entire thing.
Everything, of course. Obviously, immediately the protective like sister in me to you just sees fucking red, and old me would already sent the death threat, but I decided not to.
I literally had to stop you.
Yeah.
Of course, like your first real one most likely isn't the one. I had a lot of hope and I had a lot of vetting.
I'm gonna say something dark right now, and it's my own personal belief. It's my own personal experience. Okay, and not everyone feels this way, but like a piece of me died with my first love, 100%. Without a doubt. And she's still in there. She's still that little Tana who like got her heart broken and world ripped out from around her. I walks with me every single day, you know, but at the same time, I'm so happy that I didn't end up with that person, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Even you and I were like laughing the other day about Brad Sousa. and
What
this
a guy.
is no, absolutely like no, and talking about him in the big 2.6 with like these beautiful cameras in like my bedroom with Buster and like my beautiful life with Makoa does just feel a little like, okay, but
I was right there next to you for that entire thing, so it is
and
relevant to this conversation.
it is. And I never thought he would cheat on me or do anything to me. You know what I mean? He presented as so obsessed with me. So when I found out he was cheating on me, it was very much this like, and it was a crazy way that I found out, obviously, but it was also, and all of the girls being like, bleach and tone down, and like maybe even coming to a bleach and tone event like down was this like major just shock to me, and I was shattered, and I was like, what the fuck, you know? And this is not me like no revenge at all. He has a kid now, he's thriving, we've talked about it, I wish nothing but the best for him. Truly, he was in a bad place, but like now I can look back, and this is no shade to Brad, but like I'm so goddamn grateful he did, because sometimes too you'll stay in a relationship that maybe isn't working for other reasons for like longer than you should, and sometimes you can look back and say like, I'm honestly so happy that that person like did the finite thing to end this so that I could continue on my like journey. And that's my own personal experience, and that's not exactly what happened to you. I'm just saying, like, I keep using this analogy with you, that's really funny. Obviously when going through a breakup, there's those moments of like, and what if it could just work? Or what if this could, like, it's natural, you know? Because when you really love someone, you want to do anything and everything to fix it. And sometimes especially you and I are both very much like women in control. We're
fixers, honey.
We are fixers through and through.
Yeah.
We also like, we're not great at no for an answer either, even in career things. Like if we really want something, we're going to make it happen, and etc. And sometimes you bring those notions and ways of life into a relationship. Right? Like where it's like, no, I can fix this. And what if it can just be this beautiful thing? What if it, and the reality is a relationship involves another person. And sometimes as much of you being that, you can't make someone else. You can't fit the square into the circle hole, you know?
Yeah. There's so many different aspects here of like why I'm so affected. I think like because of how sudden everything went down, but also B, I think just like I'm a big believer on like, I'm always saying like our time is limited, like do the things that bring you peace, like do all this. And it's not that I feel like my time is wasted, it's just that I like, of course, like I know with a reframed mind, like you take these, you apply it to the next relationship. I get that 100%.
Two things can also be true. Like you can know that is fact, but still feel something different, especially when it's so fresh.
I think what really just terrifies me, and I hate saying this out loud, it's really different like when you're a girl like me. And like I hate saying that like I'm in an unfortunate position or like I am less than. I think a lot of men that I've experienced in my past treated me as less than, or like the bare minimum to a cis girl was actually exceptional for someone who's trans. And there's this new motto that I'm moving forward with, and it's like, I don't give a fuck that I'm this way. I, again, just like you, I don't fucking take no for an answer in all aspects of my life. I've always been like that ever since I was a kid. And if the world wants to believe that someone like me is not lovable, or if politics want to, you know, try to remove our rights for getting a fucking passport, make yourself the exception and be incredibly fucking delusional. And I
don't think it's delusional.
But I'm also not even just saying like I'm the exception. I'm also speaking to like all the baby Trevis or anyone that feels like they've been erased or minimized by these men and these politicians or your family or anybody. And it's like, just know you're the exception if you really believe it. I wouldn't have gotten in this relationship in the first place if I didn't believe that I was worthy of love.
Of course.
Now, did it end the way that I wanted it to? No.
Yeah.
And where there are a lot of questions still the fuck unanswered? Yes. I'm incredibly confused. I'm incredibly hurt. Every single day is fucking different. I just did Perfect Glam and I'm crying on the fucking Brand Save podcast, and I don't give a fuck if he's watching. I don't give a if anybody is watching, because like that's just my truth. And I'm just like,
I just want to say, if I can say one thing to you, and I know this the way I know my middle name, I know this the way I know Mount Rushmore, I know this the way I know anything, and it's the easiest thing I've ever done to love you. It is the easiest. It is the easiest thing I've ever done. And I think everyone in your life feels that way. And I think that that's a great message to so many people out there who could maybe be feeling the same thoughts as you, because you will meet people who make it feel so easy to love you. And I can never fully, and I always tell you this, like off camera and in life, I will never pretend to fully relate to the things that you have to go through in your mind and in your day-to-day life. However, I will be right behind you like a barking chihuahua, fighting for you to live the most beautiful life, because that's all you do is put beautiful things into the world. We keep joking about this analogy, but your last person was one step closer to the person who loves you for all of you, and truly, and through the good and through the bad, because that is what you deserve. And I also think that there is something beautiful to be said, and this is my opinion, but I would rather be fully loved for who I am or die trying than in some shit with someone who only loves the good, or in some shit with someone who finds it easy to walk away during just all the different negative things. The analogy that I keep saying is that I had to personify this person to Trevi in a conversation, so we named him Steven. Okay, is that what you just went through with Lord Farquaad?
Okay, let's just call X.
Okay, thank you. What you just went through with X is allowing you to be one step closer to Steven, who is the future husband, who loves you so much through everything. And I also think that breakups are beautiful because they immediately teach you what you don't want in the next person, but also just naturally in life, I think, especially as women as well, we make excuses for red flags. We love the benefit of the doubt. We will try to make a fucking frat house a home every single time. And I almost was saying this to you too. So many of the things that you loved about your relationship were you. Like, you are going to bring that into any room regardless, whether it's like the pouring your soul out, or the beautifully orchestrated date, or the dying laughing until 3 a.m. Bitch, you're funny with a toaster. Like, you will eventually find the Steven, your future husband. And if his name actually ends up being Steven, I'm serious. I'm literally Raven Simone.
When you get to a point where you feel like you have to contort yourself, and it's not even that I really was doing that, but I was noticing things about myself that I was just normally not doing. And umbrella statement, I'm never doing that much for a man ever the fuck again.
I completely get you. And I think it's natural for us. Like, when you love someone, A, it's pure. Like, whether it's the fruits of your labor and you want to share it with them,
100%.
or B, like, that's why I keep saying so much of it's you. God, you want to like provide, and you want to like make this.
That's not our job. Like, that's.
Yes. I did this a lot in my life when I noticed that I felt like, especially as intuitive women, a lot of this comes from my childhood too. I think I'm super aware of slight emotional shifts and changes.
Yeah.
It used to be my job to have to fix that or be super aware of it so I could know what I would prepare for. It was almost like one of my mechanisms of coping and dealing with what was happening to me.
Yeah.
When you notice that slight emotional shift, I would do that in so many relationships, where then if they went a little bit cold, I would start overcompensating.
Oh, of course. You could feel that like I could feel that shit like that.
Yes.
No, and I understood that.
And then it's like, oh my God, I have to look hotter the next time I see them.
I need a spray tan.
Yes.
I need to, oh my God, my ass is flat. Oh my God, is my filler under my eyes going away? Like, and
my house has to look perfect when they come over.
Yeah.
Like, I need to go do something super fun with them that they couldn't do with anyone else, so that they know that this relationship is bugging, and it's like, it's so easy. I think that is one of the plights of being a woman for sure. But when you feel someone kind of slipping away, to start compensating and doing more. And the reality is Steven or whoever is going to love you just as much in the big t-shirt with no spray tan, with the messy house, with a life problem going on and nothing fun to do, as they do with the full glam.
The Coachella,
Yes. I almost think that's a good thing, though. You showed the universe and yourself how easy it was for you to be giving and loving and your best self for someone and all these things. But then you also started to notice the negatives of like, oh my God, why am I feeling like I need to like put on a full face of makeup so that they like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you'll move differently in the future, which was so important for you finding your future husband.
Yeah. And my FYP is all sorts of fucked right now. But I saw something that made me literally sob. I think it was the girl who does Chicken Shop Date. She was on a carpet and she asks Ethan Hawke. She goes, do you have any advice for somebody that's dealing with a little bit of unrequited love? And he just looks straight at her. I'm going to literally try not to cry. But he goes, the one that's in love always wins. Because you give it your all, you understand that it's the biggest risk and the highest reward, and you are willing to show exactly who you are and let your entire guard down and not be afraid to be vulnerable, not to be afraid to share the ugly parts of yourself. You know what? Like, I just resonate with it so much because I do feel like a win is gonna come out of this, whether it's the album that I literally already started writing.
And not losing that.
No, 100%. And taking inspiration from being the one that, how beautiful is it that I got to experience something for the first time as intense and as deep as this, and how amazing and blessed am I to be able to show this person the world and take them here and show them how insane and fucking outrageous our life is,
and love them with everything in you.
Everything in me.
And that's the biggest takeaway, is that you know that you're capable of that and you can never lose it. That I always try to tell people that in breakups. You know why I love Pamela Anderson?
Why?
Which is a funny thing that I'm saying with my literal entire tit out. It has nothing to do with that. I feel like I'm always loving Pamela, and I'm joking about the updo and all of those things, you know? And people probably think I love her so much because of her smoky eye and her like cuntiness and all those things. It's because Pamela Anderson has such an ideology towards marriage and life, because she's been married and divorced a lot of times. And if you watch even like her newer stuff, like she did a whole show about her gardening and her peaceful life that she like has now.
And that Netflix doc too was so good.
Yes, and like the way now she's like, fuck, I'm not wearing makeup anymore. I just want to be free, and like went against the beauty standard when she is this American icon of beauty. But it's that she literally will verbatim say, I don't care how many times I get married and divorced and married and divorced and married and divorced and married and divorced. How beautiful is it to be in love so many times? I'm never gonna lose that. I'm gonna keep trying until I die. And it's like, it's so, because so much of my love was unrequited as well. I think my life's biggest loves were very, like, now for the first time I'm experiencing what full requited love is. And you know,
I thought so, yeah.
Yes. And so did I. In all those times I was like, oh my God, they love me back just as much, until you find the eyelash on the counter, or until you find the whatever it may be, you know.
Did that happen?
Oh my God, yes. One time I was getting cheated on. This guy told me that his new assistant was his cousin, and she was always around, and she was like with us all the time, and I thought she was his cousin, and she would be doing the dishes while she was like in the house with us and like helping him out with all these things. And then one day I caught him fucking his cousin, and she wasn't ever his cousin.
Okay, I was about to say that would be crazy if she was his cousin.
And this girl was fully down to pretend to be his cousin.
Oh, she was doing the bit?
In front of me, and like all these things. And
wow.
It was nutty. And then I went back. I dated him another time. Like, you need... How did the fake family tree not do it for me? But like, I don't know how to explain that. I'm so happy that even though so many of my loves were so unrequited up until I met Makoa, that I never let that make me stop being a lover girl. That's always my advice to people, because
I don't think I'll stop. I just think I'm a little damaged right now and going through it.
Yes. And even if the next 5 people are awful, they still will not be like the last. Even if the next person ends up being awful and breaking your heart, and the next person, they will all be different, and you will learn different lessons. Unless you're going for the same person, which as a coping mechanism, if you're going for the same person in different skin suits,
I'm screaming
in order to not feel things and protect yourself, that's a different conversation. But if you really are just actively dating with the lessons that you've learned, and you still keep getting scorned by a lizard, you still have to keep
a lizard.
Not shout out Brooke Schofield. That comes from the Clinton Kane era, and I love that one.
See, like I wish I could do like a 50-part series. I can't.
Your healing journey. I think you'll do a 50-part album. We were being so funny last night.
We were.
Last night was one of the most beautiful nights of my year.
It was the first time I've been happy, and genuinely since everything went down, we found out about everything.
It was you, me, Ty, Gay Makoa, and Isabella, And I have not laughed that hard in like years. And I even think after the mindset I've been in lately, like way less than what you're going through. But it just, even Makoa said that today, and he's not really going through anything. He was like, last night, like healed parts of me. And we were being so funny.
Genuinely.
About everything.
I was so much lighter today. Like I felt like for the past 2 weeks, I've been waking up really heavy and really upset. And you know what? Like back to you saying like the plights of being a woman. I just want to bring this up because it's just like, it's really intense and it's really scary. Like how we as men and women deal with things very differently, such as breakups. Like, you know,
a man cracks a Pabst Blue Ribbon and puts on the football game with his boys, and they say like, "Oh,
you gotta go get under somebody or something," and then you're having to remind me to eat.
Yeah.
Right? Like those are the differences. Like
obviously men also go through brutal breakups.
100%, and I think that they process things differently. But I think we're talking about like a certain type of man and a certain type of people that he surrounds himself with. And I'm not saying that this is like my ex's situation by any means. I do think there's something to be said about like the way it hits us differently, and at different times. Like immediately I dropped to my knees and like you were having to shove food into my mouth.
And I do it again and again.
And I appreciate you, and I will fucking start bawling again if I have to think about what happened 2 weeks ago, and like, you know, everyone being here at this house and like trying to do anything to like pass their positive energy onto me. And it's just like, I pray to never have to experience that again. But again, as Pamela Anderson said, like, how beautiful is it to fall in love again and again and again? And it's the biggest risk with the highest reward. And I understand that.
And you will get to this place. Like a breakup it's so miserable until there's the day that you wake up and you're like, thank God the trash chose to take itself out that day. And thank God that like I didn't end up staying in that relationship where I felt like I had to be this different version of myself, or thank God I ended up staying in this thing where it was slowly deteriorating, or whatever your situation is. Thank God I ended up meeting this new person, or thank God I ended up, you know, what came from that breakup, like whether it's this album or whatever it may be. Like you get to the point where you are like, thank God. It's just, it is a fierce time. But I will say that you have been handling it so healthily. Like immediately you knew you needed to be surrounded by people. You're asking everyone all the right questions. You're putting your pain into your art, which I think is so beautiful and such a beautiful privilege to have.
This new album, I'm like, I've never been so creatively inspired. And if there's anything that I can take away from this, is that it's like, how beautiful is it to have the gift of inspiration from something so negative,
and almost like deciding who is this new Trevi that I want to be now. And like even the little things of like, I'm gonna get dressed, I'm gonna put on the cute outfit, and like I'm gonna do the podcast with my best friend and talk about it, or like just whatever it is. Like it's very easy to go into the hole after the breakup, and it's almost so hard, whether it's like eating or actively choosing not to like watch sad shit and consume sad music too much, or like knowing maybe you don't need to be alone, you need to reach out to people, or like knowing that maybe you need to write down all of your thoughts so that you can gather them. Like we literally sat and made a list of like all the negatives, so that if you were in a moment of like just going through your camera roll looking at happy photos, you could go and be like, okay, wait, this is what was happening behind this photo. Like let me not, you're choosing to do the like active good things to heal from this properly, and that's hard.
And that's all ties back to addiction as well. I think these things go hand in hand, and I find them to be like incredibly relevant, because they call it playing the tape back. You know, you think about your party days, and when you're trying to get sober and you don't actually want to get sober, you're remembering all the good times, but it's like you need to remember the hurling over the toilet. You need to remember ruining that brand deal. You need to remember ruining that friendship. You need to remember the shaking and seizing in your sleep. You need to remember, or else life is just a big fucking party, and then you realize again when you're back in it. So playing the tape back with addiction and unhealthy relationships is very important. And I thank you for reminding me to make things such as that note, because that's the brain's natural thing. It's a literal Final Cut Pro up here, bitch. It's editing.
No.
It's editing out parts, and you're looking back fucking confused.
With rose-colored glasses.
Yeah.
And like the grass was greener over there because it was fake.
Because it was AstroTurf, bitch. FIFA.
Dead ass. And I did that a lot too. Like it is so, I used to have to do that with my first love. Like we were talking about playing the tape back, and I always talk about that with alcohol too, where like whenever I would want to drink, I would have to play out in my head of what would happen exactly if I had that drink. I was even talking about that with Ty yesterday. Like if I had a beer right now, I'd have one today and tell myself I can convince myself of moderation. The next time we all went out, I'd have 5 and I'd be like, I got this. And then I'd have 7 and then I'd have 9 and then I'd ruin my whole life. Right.
Yeah,
and I like
100%.
whenever I want to have the drink, I have to play the tape of what would happen if I have the drink. But I used to have to do that a lot with my first love too, where I would remember like a really happy moment, or I would remember a moment where he like supported me and lifted me up and like did everything for me, or like just whatever it is. And I would have to actually sit there in the moment and immediately be like, okay, but what would your life actually be like if you just stayed together? Because he'd be fucking other people. And what room in the house would you go to when that other girl was over? Or
this
what
is
would
if you play the tape back for you?
What would happen, you know, like if you go, when you guys would have a fight and then he would just ghost you, what would you actually do for those 3 days?
Well,
I would have to play the tape of reality.
Well, you also, are you saying like playing the tape forward as well? Like,
Yes.
like what would happen? Because you could play the tape back all you want, but then you also need to realize to play the tape forward. I see what you're saying.
No, yes, like the same thing as with alcohol. I would have to tell myself, here's what would happen if you had this drink right now, and play it forward.
Well, here's what happens if you stay with the,
But like, would it actually just be that happy memory that you just remembered and missed? Or what would life actually be like?
Or would you be miserable and lacking trust and contorting yourself in ways unimaginable to the point that you reduce yourself to an abominable tiny size?
Yes, and you have to immediately, because especially as you get out of falling out of love with someone and going through something, you literally have to play that tape of like, what would it actually be if I stayed with them? Not just like, I'm remembering this one moment where we cuddled in bed and laughed.
Right. Also,
Like-
I think abominable tiny is a contradiction, but you get what the fuck I'm saying.
Yeah,
But
heavy
yes.
on you get what the fuck I'm saying.
No, it's
right?
like- it's like
'Cause I
I-
started overcorrecting too. And
I'm
it's
like
you
over
know,
here saying abominable dismantle tiny Paul Revere FIFA. Like, I don't know what's happening.
I am actively going through that, where it's like if you really start overcorrecting too hard, all of a sudden you're like, what was that? The Michaela? Do you remember her?
Wait, Michaela.
Not a
Makeup
bag, but the doll, like the bot girl. She was a fake influencer, Lil Michaela.
Oh, Lil Michaela.
Like if you start really overcorrecting your speech, all of a sudden you're just like a chat bot, and it's like you have to talk normally, Tana. I'm telling myself that.
No,
these
yeah.
days.
So yeah, abominable, tiny, tiny, reduced to an abominable tiny size. And we don't do that. We won't do that. We are big personalities, and we know what the fuck we want, and we're not gonna fucking settle until we fucking have it. And that's because we're the exception, and you are the exception. If you truly believe it, clock that.
True, and big personalities is a whole other rabbit hole and tangent I could go down right now.
Girl,
so
because
easily.
I feel like some of these people,
I want to say 80% of men, if you have a big personality, will want to make it smaller.
well, given who I am, if I was in a man's shoes, I'm not going to say it would be my favorite thing in the world. That
I disagree.
Again, yeah, why am
I disagree wholeheartedly, because if you were dating someone who had a lot going for them and they were loud and they were fun and they were all these things,
Yeah.
you would celebrate it because you're secure in who you are.
Well, that's why I said if I was a man.
Yeah. And they exist. I love to shit on men, and I love to say all the
No,
things.
same.
But even I'm sitting here right now, and Kyle is behind the camera, and I was literally saying this to Kyle earlier because we were talking about something just in relation to his personal life, and I was like, I really hope you know that you are such a good man, and like
You
we are
are, Kyle.
always on men, but there are so many that are the exception, and I love all of the ones in my life, and it's an honor to know them, and I watch how they treat their partners, and they are loyal, and they are honest, and they are kind, and they are incredible, and they celebrate their partner, and they're not threatened by them, and they just, Makoa is the most beautiful prime example of that as well. Like,
And my mom's partner, my mom, I guess, I don't feel like boyfriend's weird because they've been together for a long time, but like very Christian man. And that always scared me, especially just given like, I think religion being connected to like my worldview is very like, like it's very like different. It's like, get the fuck away from me. But, you know, meeting someone who comes from that background and genuinely not only cares for my mother, but cares for me and treats me with genuine respect and walks me through life as like,
and the way she glows.
Yeah, and the way she glows and
she found her peace, and she found that in a different chapter of her life. Like it is there for everyone, and you cannot give up hope. And I think you're doing a very good job of that.
Thank you.
You are doing a very good job of that.
No, and I just, again, like there's a lot of great men in my life too, like my father, but I think that like
Yeah.
It is, you do have to like think about these men in your life, because it's so easy to reduce it to like this category of people who are a part of the Dogathon 9000.
It's even like how I was talking about the hate comments earlier. It's so easy
to group them.
To focus on that, to hone in on that and
create compound clip.
And yes, and I think I do that.
Kyle liked that one. Create compound clip. Okay, I'm gonna shut up.
No, but it's true. It's true. And they even like Trisha and I always do that, and then we'll be like, "Oh, men are awful," but then it's like Moses is like the greatest person in the world,
right.
And they do exist. And I think as women, it is harder to find them. You know, like we go through our trials and our tribulations and stuff, but we also figure out exactly what the fuck we want, and it is absolutely out there. And I think that the universe also, if you are putting the right things out into the universe and you're being your best self into the universe, it will eventually come for you at the time that you're meant to have it. Even if you thought that Bradley was the one and he was the best ever and you're heartbroken over it, like he wasn't.
You had to choose any name and you chose Bradley. That's your ex's name, bitch. No, I'm just fucking with you. But no, I get it. It in the present moment, it feels hard, and it feels like a part of me genuinely, like you said, like was ripped. But like, again, we don't need to like fully dwell on it. I just like felt really good to talk about it with you, and I don't know if this was supposed to be the direction of this episode, but like I think it was helpful.
This episode is a very accurate reflection of what our friendship is. Like the two main topics of this episode being sobriety and, you know, public perception, and then a breakup, and like that is what we genuinely do for each other.
Self-respect and like reminding each other of who the fuck we are.
Yes, and I'm so happy that we get to bring the brand safers into that this week, because everyone deserves to have and find a friendship like that in life and have those people that you can go to, and everyone also deserves to be able to take their life's hardest pains and tribulations and turn them into something beautiful. And I hope that people get that from today's episode.
Yeah.
You know, I really do.
Me too.
The other day I was saying to Makoa that like before I met him, I was like, do you know that there were years of my life that I never cried? Like I didn't cry for a whole year. And he literally looked at me like I was speaking a different language. He was like, that's impossible.
Yeah.
That's impossible with the way you are now. Like Waterworks McGee.
No, same. Do you know what they call that in sobriety?
What?
Not to be like in
No,
sobriety,
tell.
in sobriety. They all click off. Stay. But they call that falling out. And
Walt Disney freezer style, I've been thawing out.
Yeah. So normally for me, it didn't start until about the third year, because I've always been like on a fierce SSRI. One of the main reasons I love to get so fucked up, honestly, before is because people think that I was like numbing myself. It actually helped me get more in touch with my emotions, because I felt so fucked up and safe to just kind of like, let my guard down and be a messy bitch and be a messy crier. And then as soon as I got my act together, there was like 3 solid years where I was stone cold. And it's literally just a part of it. And now I'm Waterworks McGee as well. Switched to the estrogen shot too, which mind you is like spooky, scary. It feels like every day is a roller coaster, but it's like what a beautiful thing it is for us to know that we can freely and safely express ourselves, and our body responds to it.
It feels so good to just be so in touch with your emotions and like be able to cry. I think that I kind of grew up like I never wanted to cry as I got older, especially like my teens and like preteens and all those things, because I was like tired of crying. I almost felt like it was like this like sign of showing weakness, that I was like, no, I have to have my shit together because no one else does, so I'm not gonna cry, and like I'm gonna be the strong one, I'm gonna do this thing. And even when like other adults would cry in my like teens and like certain eras, I would like be uncomfortable by it. I would be like, what, like, ew, like, why are they crying at this movie, or why are they crying at whatever? And now I've turned into like that mom who's like, this movie is just, and it's like, it's so, I don't know, I love crying.
Me too. It's like the only physical proof of you releasing something.
Whoa. Gag it.
Right? Besides literally shit.
I was gonna say diarrhea.
Yeah, besides actual like food poisoning, diarrhea.
No,
I'm talking about it's the physical proof of an emotional release. Imagine that every single one of those teardrops carries something that was no longer meant to stay inside of your body.
I do that in the shower too. Like even whether I'm crying or not, like I always, my shower like manifestation ritual is like the water coming off of my body. I'm always imagining it as the things that are no longer serving me and going down the drain. It's the cancer in me for sure. But
well, yeah, you could think about like all like the spray tan bronzer and just like
it's a little spray tan bronzer, piss and tears,
girl,
and body wash.
Girl, like I've been in those showers too. The spray tan bronzer comes off. I think I'm like becoming a butterfly.
Yes,
you went to Sugared and Bronze. Like,
you are not a butterfly. You are not. That is green solution, and your armpit looks scary.
You have pink undertones, bitch, and you burn. You are not a butterfly.
I want to talk about this retrograde.
It is just, I never have like felt anything as strong as this. And my pattern, my app, and this is no like tea, but like my pattern showed the exact dates of the beginning of my relationship to the very, very end on the day. I'm not going to get fully into
the pattern app can send me into psychosis if I start patterning out too much. If I start textiling and patterning and it's too much.
The day. And then I'm just, of course, then it's making me even more like woo woo, where I'm just like, yeah, no, my phone's not fucking working. All my photos are like indexing. I can't even type in anything. Like none of my photos are showing up. None of my text messages are showing up.
Nothing is
Suddenly
working.
My storage is full, but I have 100 free gigabytes. I'm like, hey, shut the fuck up.
No, everything is glitching down. Like the microwave won't even work, and you know that's a big problem for me. I like crashing my car. Like I which I'll get into in another episode. Just wholly into your own gate, own car, into own gate. It's just, but it was so weird because that whole car ride, I was literally having a conversation with Meg, being like, I just want to drive as safe as possible. Like Mako and I had been having a lot of conversations, and like I really had been learning so many skills, and like just as safe and as good as possible. And I like felt like I was really getting better too. And then it's just like dink gate.
Rinky dinky, call back.
And there's a lot more to be said about that, but I'm going to glaze over it right now. Everything is fine. I am safe and I am fine. And a lesson was learned. And Trisha made me feel better. She said, who doesn't crash their own car into their own gate? She sent me a pic.
Right. Well, at least you have a car and you know how to drive. You got ahead of me.
And that I'm doing it in this time of my life where I am so cognizant and aware and want to learn and get better. I'm about to go to driving school due to...
I love that. You got a license and a car, and I got an Uber deal, and I think that just means
and honestly I might have
that's to hop just very on brand for us.
One more gate and I'm hopping on the deal with you. I will. It was discouraging, don't get me wrong, but I'm trying to not let it discourage me. And that's,
no, you're great. I think I eventually like want to hop on that wave with you.
But I will say, and I say this a lot, the second that I leave that DMV a licensed driver, I will go back to being a passenger princess. I love being a passenger princess. And this,
know you can though.
Exactly. I want to know I can. I want to conquer the childhood thing. I not the whole thing. Okay, I'm never gonna conquer.
She's
that
like, I want to conquer every no. Could you imagine?
No, but the driving for me is like, I will not die not being a licensed driver that knows how to drive, in spite of the way that shit went down for me when I was young. And even though teeth thing and a lot of things right now are these big lessons of frustration and like, being robbed from things, and it sucks, but I there are certain ones I want to conquer, and that is one that I will conquer regardless. But
yeah, you will.
I don't know how to explain it in this retrograde. Just everything, all the little things are happening, but I'm trying to, even just like me hitting the gate, I'm like, you know what? That made me so much more cognizant of so many more things and turn radiuses and all of the different things. And I'm just so grateful that no one was harmed, and that it is a fixable problem, and that like that could have saved me from a really serious moment where like things could have gone very differently. And like, I'm just trying to remember that everything is redirection across this retrograde. Yesterday I went to Target.
I do, because I waited 2 hours for you.
Yes, and I want to talk to you about why you waited for 2 hours for me. I'm going to keep it really short and sweet.
You were just getting an air mattress so we could have a movie night and some s'mores. So I really want to know what the fuck happened.
Well, so everyone, by the way, ever, when I lived in Hollywood, move to the Valley. Move to the Valley. The Valley is so much safer, and it's so safe. And the Valley, I love the Valley. It's the safest suburb of California. It's the best, and nothing about
the school that would take our kids. That's $150,000 a quarter.
Yes, exactly.
Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. The Valley.
You should move to the Valley, where I drive my Cayenne around, and everything is Toluca.
I literally live in Toluca Lake, by the way. Literally, don't rob me. But like, I see everyone that says that sounds and talks and is that Toluca. They're my neighbors.
Melv till the valley. It is so safe over here. By the way, and this is dark. I don't want to say it. The second that I moved into my house, a couple doors down, a very well-known person was murdered in their own home and robbed, like a couple doors down. And then the robbery ring that was currently in Hollywood moved to the valley. So it just immediately, I think that everyone who had told me that I would be so much safer and peaceful and happy, like over this way, like, and obviously I know that I have my stalker and he is driven by this house, and like that's just going to be a forever chemical, you know, like that's just going to be like, that's just going to be
that like, thing's just going to be a Prop 65 warning.
100%.
Forever.
I know that, but just the amount of things that have happened over here since I moved, I'm just like, Los Angeles as a whole. Anyways, I go to Target last night in the valley, and it's like such a family Target. It has a parking lot. It's like nothing like the ones in Hollywood, as everyone says. And I get there and I'm having a great time. And me, Ty, and Isabella start shopping around Target. We're grabbing the things to make s'mores. We're grabbing the air mattress. We decide to go over to the toy aisle and we're looking at slime and we're looking at moon sand, and we get a couple things for all of us to like have fun with, like board games. We got categories. We look down in the cart after we walk away from the toy aisle and we realize that like the categories and moon sand, this is such a Tana like cart setup.
Saying
I know, a clavicular like stop. But it's okay. The first half of this podcast was no toilet riz insight, so it's fine.
I hate to interrupt you. Looks Maxers are literally just trans. Continue.
I love that you interrupted me for that. I'm going to take a sip of Dr. Pepper on that. Cheers.
Y'all are bone smashing FFS.
We should have clavicular on just to say that to his face.
I look, he keeps seeing clips of him like being like, well, like saying to a trans girl, I don't even know if she's trans, but he's like, well, if you were a man, like that's okay, like you're just now like the most beautiful and authentic version of yourself. And I'm like, say you want to get clipped without saying I want to get clipped.
We should do an entire podcast episode where we discuss clavicular, because I can't do this in short form.
I'm so sorry.
No, I can't. I have so much to say.
So the moon sand and the categories.
Yes, back to the more serious things. And so we look down in the cart, we noticed that like the moon sand and the categories are there, but the other things we've gotten aren't there. And then we realized, oh my God, this isn't our cart. My purse, my other phone, and my wallet, and my purse, and my purse.
Why did I say red? She last night was saying something about red flags, and then she just like randomly was like, she inserted the word red again. She's like, yeah, and then these red flags, and then if you ever see that red tomorrow. Wait, why did I just say red? And she literally fully thought she was having like an aneurysm of sorts. So for the past like couple of days, we like everyone in the house has just been like stopping in their tracks. Wait, why did I just say red?
Because my OCD really will convince me all the time that I'm just like fully in an episode. Makoha has been being so funny, making fun of me, because I'll always be like, what if none of this is real and I'm just on a park bench? And if him and I are going back and forth, he'll literally be like, you're on a park bench. Like, so I had said red randomly. Everyone's looking at me like, what, hello? And I go, why did I say red? Why did I say red? I needed an answer. I needed someone to explain it to me. Anyhow, why did I just say red?
So what's in your cart? And let's follow the leader. Why did I say red?
All my shit's gone. I even had a zip up on, and my zip up is missing. So all I have is this little phone, and I'm naked and afraid in this Target. Like my zip up's gone. I'm in my like horse shorts and a tank top, and I'm just naked and afraid in this Target.
Right.
We're looking around for the cart absolutely everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. I'm running around too, because like my phone, my wallet, all my cards, my purse, I'm just like tripping. And so much has been happening to me lately where I have to come home to Makoa, tail between my legs, and say, I crashed the car. And I'm just imagining, like truly it is an ego thing. I'm imagining having to come home and say, all my stuff's gone because I lost it at Target because I was getting moon sand. End it. Like, it's so embarrassing. And I've never lost my shit in a Target ever. Heart racing out of my chest, running around the store. We like finally find guest services worker. So kind, such a nice guy. He was honestly being so funny and like helpful. He was literally being like, you know, people do this with their children all the time. Like people literally lose their children and or like swap children. Because we had swapped carts with someone else. We'd put the moon sand into a cart with someone else. We look into the cart, we realize we have their phone. So like we have their phone. And now we're looking for someone else with the cart with my stuff in it, right?
You just call the phone.
I'm calling my other phone. I am.
Right.
And I'm trying to track it. It's not working. The AirTag in my wallet isn't working. I'm like, what the fuck are these even for? Like AirTag, supposed to be able to use the air to tag it. Nothing's happening.
Yeah.
I can't
find the wallet.
Yes. I can't find my stuff anywhere. We're running around this Target for like 45 minutes. And so finally the guy's like, we can just stand at the exit and block the exit, because then whoever's like, and then I'm also imagining, what if someone else is like, I don't want my phone. I actually want your things. And I'm just freaking out.
Right.
He's like, we can stand by the exit. And as we're walking to the exit, this girl comes over and she's like the sweetest fan. I love her so much. And she's like, I found your phone ringing and I saw that it said Tana, and like she works at the Target, and she was like, I assume this was your cart and it was with this woman and like she's looking for her. So she like brings the whole situation together.
Okay.
And so now I'm taking selfies with this girl. Obviously I'm so embarrassed too. I'm just like, she will forever. And like, again, I'm naked in the Target.
Right.
Like I had put my zip up in the cart. Like I just look frazzled. I'm just like, I'm so embarrassed with this girl. And so then obviously now we have to swap carts with the other woman.
The other woman.
She wasn't at Target. She was on Mars. she
like drugs?
She was not at Target, babe. She was anywhere but with the white bullseye dog. She was anywhere but Target. Okay, she was looking for a Target, maybe. Like she was not at the restaurant.
No. Baby, there is no plane. Yeah.
She's like screaming at us because her cart that we had put our moon sand into was filled with children's shoes, and like the things from the children's shoes had come out of the shoes, and she was accusing us of going through the children's shoes. And and so then obviously, like, you know, I gather my things. We're trying to explain to her, but she wasn't at the Target.
Yeah.
So
you were on FM, she was on AM. That's a big reference I use a lot when someone's on a different like wavelength. I'm like, bitch, we're over here on FM and you're over here on AM.
And so then I get my stuff. I leave the Target. I was like, that was kind of a footy experience.
Footy.
I've never really lost my things in a store. There is like, and then you're apologizing to the workers, and then her being a supporter of me. Like it just, it was very like, I was just like, oh my God, I was so embarrassed. And like, now I have to go home and tell Makoa, and it's just like, whatever. We're driving home from the Target.
Oh, and this is what I know.
Well, no, I see this billboard that says burglary, and it was like for a like burglary and theft, and it was like for a lawyer that helps with burglary and theft in Los Angeles. And then my OCD loves to do that. Like if I see something and I hyperfixate on it, and I always say it's such a fine line because I do think I'm a very intuitive person, and like my zodiac sign and all the houses I'm in, you can ask Paige.
Right, Saturn something, return something.
Like I know that I'm very, very intuitive, and like sometimes I will joke and be like, I'm psychic.
No, I believe that we have a fierce intuition. Genuinely.
I do, but obviously now with OCD, I never know if it's just like OCD and it's the thought repeating like you're gonna die, you're gonna die, you're gonna die, or if it's my intuition, right? But I see this billboard that says theft, and then my brain is telling me like someone's gonna get something stolen from them tonight, like theft is going to happen, burglary is going to happen, like I don't know what's going to happen, this whole car ride home. And then I get home.
This is when I came.
Yes, helicopters are circling my street. And cars are backed up, and like I'm also in my convertible, so I'm just really in the mix of this. Like outside, people are fleeing in the street and like running, whatever. I walk through the front door, we all hear a gunshot.
Yes. And then we open the Citizen app, and it's not even like down the street.
It's on my street.
Bitch, it's on. It's
MILF
to the valley. It was like a young party too, and you were like we were seeing all these like Ubers of like these kids like in these like Priuses, like calling these Ubers. It looked like a Project X thing of sorts, and like everyone's like watching the same Snapchat we saw.
Yeah.
And it was just like car after car after car after car, because we opened the door to see why, and then that's when we heard the second gunshot. You know, not the pattern, Jesus, pattern Citizen, it's all the same.
Comparing the pattern app.
Comparing the pattern app to the gunshot.
So then as we're checking the app though, there had been 2 sets of gunshots that were like 20 minutes apart.
Yeah.
And so then that was kind of freaking me out, because then I was like, what if it's not a house party thing? What if it's like, and then my mind, the theft thing was still on my mind. So I was like, security, like I need to just make sure security's on 10, and like what's going on right now? Like I'm really scared. Like what if it's like a break-in thing? Like what's going on with the gunshots? 35 minutes go by and Meg calls me. And she's like, Tana, I like hate to tell you this, but I was just at the Abbey in WeHo and someone stole my phones. One of them being our work phone. And like the theft.
This is all the same night.
This is all in the same night. And I could go on a whole podcast tangent about the Abbey and how I believe it is all an inside job. Lisa Rinna started that conversation like really this year again. She like brought it back up.
You had a moment. You had a premonition. You had a moment. You did have some fierce intuition. And not only were almost all of your things stolen by someone on AM radio, but you saw the billboard and there was gunshots in your neighborhood and your work phone got stolen. That's a heavy night.
No, it was
for one night of the retrograde.
And yes, and this retrograde has just been feeling like that, where I'm really, even the other day, I'm trying to sell this house. I'm trying to move out. I had this conversation where I called my real estate agent, and she's like my bestie.
Love.
I'm basically just telling her, like, girl, I think I'm gonna die in this house.
I think I'm in the same boat as you for different reasons. Like, I have been in my place for several years now, and I just want to like sell it and get rid of it and move somewhere else and have a fresh start. Especially like, I don't know, like the breakup and everything. It's like at the walls. I'm like, there's demons in here.
Yeah, you know what I kept saying to her?
What?
I kept saying to her, for me, the way I feel about this house, it was a great investment and a beautiful time here. I love this house is a beautiful home that I'm so grateful for. And if you told, and I hate to say it, but if you told Dirty Door Tana that she would ever be a homeowner or ever have a house, like, it's just unbelievable to me. Yeah. And I'm so beyond grateful. Yeah. But it feels like someone else's house. And I always say that I can literally imagine the family that is going to live in this house. And I think that I bought this house in an era of my life where I was more materialistic and I was trying to hit this societal standard where everyone was telling me I wasn't good enough if I didn't own a house.
Yeah.
It is gluttony. It is maximalism. I do not need this much house.
You don't. You're also just like deep in the valley.
I'm very in the valley. And there's a soccer field. There's a basketball court. I don't need a soccer field.
No, FIFA's happening at SoFi.
But I have this whole phone call with her the other day where I'm going, get me out of this house. Like, help me get out of this. Like, let's figure it out. Like, I think this is someone else's house. The very second I hang up from the phone call, coming out of my phone, evacuation notice. There's a fire minutes away. I'm not even, like, black smoke in the sky. I was in my closet, all doors closed. You could smell smoke. Like, and I've already had to evacuate this house for fires one time. Oh, yeah. I'm not even joking you. Like, on watch duty, like, there's the zone of the fire, and then there was me. The wind's blowing directly just towards the blue dot that was my location.
Right.
And I've seen this film before, so we just
and I didn't like the ending.
Yes. So we just start ripping shit off the walls, packing them in suitcases. I have all my stuff ready. Like, I know that the way the California fires work, like how
it's fast and it's unexpected.
So unexpected. And it's so fast. But I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh my God, during this retrograde, I cannot say, I'm literally saying, get me out of this house, get me out of this house. That's not what I meant.
Oh, not what I meant. You're like, don't force me out.
Like, that's not what I just meant that, like.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that.
Everything that I'd like think or say or whatever, I'm trying to be so, even how Meg and I had that whole conversation before I crashed the car where I'm talking about the like safety of like driving and like, I don't want to do anything bad. And then I immediately hit the gate. Like, I'm just trying to be so careful in this retrograde.
But like the words that you're saying out loud.
Yeah. And I genuinely was just saying like, I'm ready to get out of this house. I wasn't saying anything negative.
It's not, hey, get rid of this house. It's never that. It's let me move on peacefully to my next location while I collect what I spent here and give it to a nice family. 100%. We're going to have to be real specific until I think it's July 23rd is when it ends. Yeah, I know things.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Citizen app told me that. F the pattern. No, I'm kidding.
I'm just so aware right now of our words being power.
Yeah.
Even just being so careful about everything that we say, and like even just like that we know that this is going to be a beautiful era for you.
And that's why I'm so like sitting here like carrying myself with elegance through, you know, all the things we just talked about previously. And like it's not my job to serve justice to somebody, nor am I that type of person who wants to bring evil onto the screen or an ugly part of myself that I feel like I just find it irrelevant. And I think, again, right now, if you want to be the woo-woo bitch like we're saying we are, I think everything that we say out loud, in general, not even just in retrograde, like there becomes some sort of materialization in some way, shape, or form. If something, again, back to the tears, if something I can, or something you can say to me can physically make my body release a tear, imagine just what it could do to like the energy field of the world.
It's so true. And I'm
talking to plants. Sorry, but people talk to plants and they go better. I'm sorry. I'm putting the mic down.
No, it's real.
It is real.
I don't care how ooh I sound. Even like the beginning half of this podcast, I felt like that was so cathartic for me, where I just wanted to continue to manifest sobriety and peace and a peaceful environment and a peaceful community and a happy one, and just like continue to show the girls that they can do that. Even if I'm dragging that, I don't care. I want to continue to do that forever and ever and ever. And I'm just very happy that we got to have this conversation today and,
me too.
you know, speak to the universe in a beautiful way together, as we always do, but today being on camera. And I love you.
I love you too. You need to come on 6 Feet Above soon.
I will be on 6 Feet Above very soon. You know, I already think you and Kate are just the funniest people alive. She's the best. She was a part of our little wolf pack too. And
I know,
you know,
she was here when all the things went down.
She's just so funny.
She really
even
is.
Like all the things she was saying to you to lift you up. Like,
I know.
I just love her.
Because everyone knows like different. Everyone has their own little quirks and what they think was gonna like lift someone's mood, and she's just like, you guys all just play again. Like we all, what did you say? Like we all like play different parts of how we lift each other up. Everyone has like a different role or like a different kind of like character arc. Like I feel like I'm like going through like Mario characters. I'm like, which one are you gonna be in today?
Yeah, and it's beautiful.
No, it is beautiful, and this was such a lovely and healing conversation. Sorry, I kind of like lost it there for a second.
No, I'm so happy you did. I think that that's everything I wanted Brand Safe to be, is what today's episode is. Vulnerable and real, and my friendships and my life and all of those things. So you are definitely a huge part of that, and this is so much better than the beta episode that we shot originally. That will end up being a Patreon, the funny parts of that. The other parts are gonna go to the
30
void.
seconds long. Sorry.
No, there was a couple. We talked a lot about Shane Dawson, and it was funny, and I kind of want to keep that.
Okay, sorry. I did have to do that. I'm sorry if I like interrupt you sometimes on this. I'm like,
oh my God, are you kidding me?
When move to the valley.
Milk to the valley. We're ADHD girlies, and I love it. And I love you, Trevi Moran. Please just go stream everything that she does, whether it's her podcast or her music, and lift her up in this time, as I love to do. And you are my world.
Thank you.
We are so brand safe.
We are so brand safe.
Bye, guys.
Bye.